And we're back, and welcome to Live at the Center for Performing Arts. We're all live. I'm live. Babette is live. Kate is live. Joanne is live. The plant is live. Kevin is computer generated. Kevin, is there a green screen behind you, Kevin? There's a blue screen behind you. This is the February show. We're on the set of the January show, which happens to be the Elephant Man, which the wonderful Kate Olson actually painted. You painted this entire set.
Yes.
Did you build this set?
I didn't build it. That's not one of my
It's not one of the things you do, but she's very handy with a paintbrush and a toothbrush, I must say. And these things back here, they look like volcanoes. What is that?
They're just kind of nondescript crumbling walls, because the set has to serve for different settings, so we just wanted to...
Are you in the show too?
I'm not.
No, but Kate is actually starring in our February show, which is Annie, Get Your Gun. And as we've discussed, this is that wonderful show about the little orphan girl with the dog. And she finds this very rich guy named Daddy Warbucks. Isn't that the show?
No, I think you're thinking of Little Orphan Annie.
I would get that confused. I'm sorry. So what is this show about, Annie, Get Your Gun?
It's about the sharpshooter Annie Oakley of Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, and it's a romantic and tempestuous story about Annie and Frank Butler.
Who is Frank Butler?
That's her to-be husband, who is also a sharpshooter, but she's just a little bit better than
She's better than he is?
She's better than he is.
Anything you can do, or anything he can do, you can do better?
Exactly.
Which is one of the songs from the show, by the way. And this is Joanne Schubert sitting down here at the end. Joanne is half of the musical team of Paul and Joanne Schubert, who have been here since, 1883. I think you did the first show. And it feels like that. What was the first show you did for the center?
We did Deuces Wild with Andy Weintraub in, I think, 91.
1991.
Wow.
And where was that? It wasn't here, because we weren't built yet.
A restaurant that was called La Parmesan.
Oh, it was Jackarusso's then, right?
Well, when we performed there, it was La Parmesan.
La Parmigiana, okay.
And now it's Terrapin.
Now it's Terrapin, my favorite place in the entire world. And so you're the musical director on this show, Annie, Get Your Gun.
Along with Paul.
Along with Paul. Is everybody behaving?
Mostly.
Mostly behaving. We had a rehearsal last night. You were here last night, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and was everybody behaving last night?
I nearly whipped somebody.
You
but
nearly
generally
whipped.
speaking-
Do you want to say who you wanted to whip?
No,
No, she won't, because she's much too polite. All right, so we're going to be talking about Annie, Get Your Gun, and we're going to talk about all the things that Paul and Joanne have done. And sitting to my right is Babette Fazzolino.
Hello.
Are you in Annie, Get Your Gun?
No, I am not.
Are you in anything at the
No,
moment?
I am not. I am a backstage kind of person.
Backstage kind of person. Babette is the director of education here at the Center for Performing Arts. And what kind of education are we talking about? I mean, geology, trigonometry, rocket science.
All of the above.
All of the
All
above.
of the
That's
above,
what we
and theater.
theater
sprinkled
Oh.
in.
So what do we got here? We have a lot of workshops and field trips, and this is our. How many pages do you have?
This is
there?
my 6 pages. of
6
programming.
pages. It's like a college catalog.
It is a call, almost.
All right. So what do we got coming up? What's going on?
Well, February we have some new programming coming. We start with Kids on Stage, and we'll be doing a production of Romeo and Juliet, a musical adaptation written by Russ Austin.
Russ Austin, directed by
Lisa Lenz, who's also the director of Elephant Man.
Elephant Man. But would you tell everybody what Kids on Stage is? Because I don't know if
Kids
everybody
on
knows
Stage
that.
is an after-school theater workshop that teaches stagecraft for children ages in our spring program, 8 and up. We meet on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons from 4 o'clock to 5:30, and we've been doing that for quite some time. Our next program, Kevin is going to be instructing for the very first time, so that's pretty exciting. Because he's been here for a while as a performer.
But he's
director.
not real. He's computer generated.
Well,
That's what
so that'll be challenging.
It will.
But this is his first opportunity here as an instructor. He's been an instructor for many other places, but we're starting a new program with him called Teen Musical Theater that is really taking off. There's been a lot of interest in it. And that's for young people ages 13 to 18, a little bit older group, who are interested in learning more specifically about musical theater.
And so, what's the difference between musical theater and regular theater, Kevin?
Well, musical theater has some music in it.
Ah, as opposed to regular theater, which does
No,
not have
no
music,
music.
in it. Okay, right. So, what are you going to teach these kids?
You know, we're going to do a kind of a Broadway review style with a lot of different choreography styles, a lot of different music styles throughout the years.
Uh-huh. And Kevin is a dancer, by the way, a dancer and a choreographer and an actor and a director, and he's also our director.
What, I don't sing?
You sing, you do sing. Sorry. You know what? The theater, you always offend somebody, no matter what you say. He's also the director of community and public relations here at the center.
I am.
Yeah.
Recently, sort of. but
Just
since-
recently.
Since October.
Since October of 2012, and now we're in 2013. And you do something else too. You're going to be directing another show, which is in March. We'll talk about that when we do next month's show. But just tell us a little bit. What is that? What's
It's called Spring Awakening.
Spring Awakening?
It was quite the hit in 2007, 2008. Took home a bunch of Tony Awards. It's an up-and-one production here.
Did it win them or just take them?
It won them.
Oh, it won them. I thought maybe they just
They
give
just stole them.
me your Tony Awards. I want those awards.
No, it took home Best Musical, Best Score, Best Book. So it's very.
And what's it about?
It is set in 1891, actually, but it's about teen angst. It's a lot of coming-of-age stories for teens, sexuality, and how elders, be it parents or teachers, kind of don't share the information that teens need in that time period.
Oh, teen angst. So this is fiction.
Right, exactly. Totally fiction.
There's no such thing as teen angst.
Of course not.
And you
Everybody's
say,
cool and calm
what
and
country does
collected.
this take place in?
Germany.
In Germany. And they had sex in Germany in 1891.
No,
I didn't think they
It was
did.
just on blue screen as well.
Blue screen, computer generated. Are you in that show?
No.
Are you in that show?
No.
Are you playing the music for that show?
No.
Who is playing the music for that show?
That's Matt Wolliver.
Matt Wolliver, who is another one of our musical directors. Not been here as long as Paul and Joanne.
But
Well-
he is playing on Elephant Man.
He's playing the cello in The Wings. See, but
Yes.
you will have missed this show by then, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen,
that's true.
which is a real shame because it's a great show, great production. And Kate painted the set. She painted those volcanoes that are in the background.
Yes.
All right, so Babette, so we've got
Back to the schedule.
back to the schedule.
Focusing.
Yeah, focusing.
Starting on March 4th, we also have a new Shakespeare workshop for
Who's teaching that?
that is being taught by Diana DeGrande.
Yeah.
And she has been an instructor here for over 10 years
Yes.
and directs and produces many shows here. She will be doing, I call it Heroes, Villains, and Lovers. She'll be doing different scenes from popular Shakespearean plays. And that will run on Monday and Wednesday afternoons from 4 to 5:30 for
When does that start?
ages 13 to 17. March 4th.
March 4th.
Lou will be playing all the villains.
I'm
Yes.
no, I'm going to be all the heroes and maybe the lovers.
No, just the
I don't
villains.
know. So heroes, do you know about this heroes, villains, and lovers? So who is that going to be? Do we know?
I don't know. I just thought it sounded good.
That's you made this up.
I did. I made it up
Ah.
as I went along.
Cool.
That is an audition-based program, and actually, I don't have that date on my 6 pages.
You don't know.
of
You
cheat
don't.
sheet.
She doesn't. In the college curriculum, college catalog, we don't know the date of the audition. You
I
have
think-
to audition to be in this workshop.
If you do.
6th, February 6th.
February 6th.
We'll go with that.
All right,
Okay.
we'll
I
try
think it's
that.
February
You
6th.
call us.
Or
at
check our website.
877-3080 between the hours of 1 and 5, Tuesday through Saturday, and you can inquire as to when this workshop is, and you can also order tickets for any Get Your Gun or Spring Awakening or any of the other 1.5 million shows we're doing this year. Are you playing music for anything other than this? You're doing a couple other things coming up, right?
I believe the next auditions that we're doing are for Pajama Game.
Pajama Game, which is in June, right?
Yes.
And that's
Oh, that's
the
gonna be fun.
Rhinebeck Theater Society is doing that. And after Pajama Game is then Jekyll and Hyde, directed by you.
Yeah.
And after that is South Pacific. And before Pajama Game is Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Right?
Yeah.
And then Julius Caesar's before that, and then Caesar and Cleopatra is before. We have counting backwards.
I
We were
hope you
talking about
checked your
the-
calendar.
Non-stop.
Please, you must.
Maybe they
It
should have
is
just
all
come in the
nonstop.
mail.
There'll be a quiz about the. Well, here is your calendar, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. The new calendar, which should be in your hands even as I am speaking, because they went out about a week ago.
Yeah.
This is January 18th today, so these went out a week ago.
Are you giving away our secrets
I-
on
this-
TV?
Yeah, I know.
And
It's
not
like it's the
live?
Star Trek. It's not live. I'm sorry. It's a charade. All right. So did I interrupt you?
Yes,
even
you
yet
did,
again?
once again.
So what else is going on?
Continuing
I
on,
know.
March 4th, we have another brand new program, Introduction to Adult Acting. And that will be offered during the daytime for some of our older students. Any age is welcome to come, but anyone over 18.
Who's teaching that?
And that's being taught by Barbara Meltzer.
And what is she going to do exactly?
She
lot of
will.
character
It's
study.
a character study. The basics of stagecraft. It's an introduction program for those people who have always thought about getting involved in theater but hadn't taken that first step. So that'll be a lot of fun. Monday and Wednesday mornings from 11 to 12:30, starting on March 4th.
Cool. And what else?
That is spring, and
That's the-
summer
so-
is a whole other
But
conversation.
you want
so
to
I'll
talk
let you
about
jump around.
Well, I can jump around.
Yes,
Well,
could
thank
you?
you so much. So I'm gonna go back to you, and then I'll go back to
I'll flip
her, and
pages.
then I'll go back to her, and then I'll go back to him. So after Annie Get Your Gun, I mean, which is a big role. I mean, it's a huge role, Annie Oakley. I mean, you're on stage just about all the time, aren't you?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Are you vocally taxed?
A little bit, trying to, you know,
Lots of tea.
yes, lots of tea, lots of tea.
How's she doing?
She's doing great.
She sounds fabulous.
Fabulous.
She sounds just like Ethel Merman.
Prettier.
Prettier.
Prettier,
Pre- oh,
prettier
she's
than
prettier
Ethel.
than Ethel
Her,
Merman.
and her voice is. I think
I'm
is
prettier
prettier.
than Ethel Merman. Come on.
Yes, but you don't sound as pretty
But I
as
don't
other-
sound as good as she does.
Yeah, she's
So,
more
what's your
pleasing.
favorite part of this show, if there is a favorite part?
Oh, there's a lot of favorite parts. I really like. There's this scene in the beginning where actually Joanne's daughter is in the show, Maya, and
Plays your sister.
plays my little sister, and we do a
Aw.
jug band in doing what comes naturally, and I think we need to take it on the road
That
because
We do.
it's like just our jug band.
We
It's
absolutely
so much
do.
fun.
We're going to play at Terrapin at midnight, Fridays and
Yes.
Saturdays. You will all be carded
10
when you
and
come
14,
in.
the kids.
So this show has some of the biggest musical numbers of all time. No Business Like Show Business, Anything You Can Do. What else?
You can't get a man with a gun.
Can't Get a Man with a
Sun
Gun.
in the Morning.
Sun in the Morning.
Yeah.
What's that song? Falling in Love.
Falling in Love is wonderful.
Oh man, that
That's
is just a
another-
fabulous song. What's your favorite song in the show? Do you have one?
I love so many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about Paul? What is he like?
He probably prefers the ballads.
He likes the ballads.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between how you guys play? Because you're here one night, he's here one night. Is there a difference?
We try to be somewhat cohesive.
Yeah.
However, I tend to be a shade more classically oriented.
He's a little faster sometimes.
No.
No,
they
you're a
s-
little.
They, I am told from the cast
Right.
that I tend to play things a little bit more briskly than
Briskly.
Paul does.
Yeah.
I like the
So we do try to, confer and get it together as much as possible.
Paul was just an actor in a show here. He was in Awake and Sing, a staged
so
reading
good.
that we did. He's going to audition for Julius Caesar, he said.
Is he?
I'm twisting his arm. I think he'd be great as a mobster. Kevin.
Or as Caesar.
Or he could be Caesar, Sid Caesar, maybe. But I don't think he could be Julius Caesar. We'll see. Who knows? So, Kevin, Jekyll and Hyde, Spring Awakening. What else?
Well, after that is Spam-A-Lot, actually.
Spamalot is in
fun.
October.
Way into October. That's that seems like we took.
It's like a year from now, almost. Well, 9
Almost,
months.
and yet I'm sure I'll be sitting here in just a month talking about
Talking
it.
about Spamalot. Yeah. So, Babette, so the big thing that happens here in the summer is the Summer Arts Camp.
It is.
And there are about 9 or 10 workshops coming up this summer, right?
At least.
At least. I mean, there's more?
I didn't count them all, but it's
So-
nonstop from the beginning of summer to the end of summer.
2 Kids on Stage programs.
2 Kids on Stage. We're doing Wizard of Oz and Disney's The Little Mermaid.
Oh, big shows. Big shows. But then
It's a
there's
role I've been dying to play.
the Little Mermaid?
The mermaid, yes.
Oh, I think you'd be great. Yeah.
My
Your,
fin.
your computer-generated fish half of you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be fabulous. Fabulous. And then there's an intermediate Kids on Stage.
It's an intermediate Kids on Stage. We start the summer with Stage Combat, which is so much fun.
Stage combat, which is like fencing and punching and knives.
Slaps, kicks, punches.
Oh
or,
man! Even if you're not interested in the theater, that's a great workshop. Boy.
And then we also start with your camp, which is Shakespeare for Stage.
Shakespeare.
And that's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Joanne's daughter did that.
Yeah.
Maya,
Yeah.
she was in there
They've
last
also
year.
taken
They
the stage
yeah,
combat.
and stage
as
And
combat.
stage combat. They've been in
And the tech course.
Yes.
And tech, that's right.
Yeah.
They're here all summer too.
Yeah.
So we start with stage combat and Shakespeare,
Shakespeare.
and then we have another new program with Kevin for our little kids doing the magic of Disney songs.
The magic of Disney
It's
songs.
going to be magically magic.
Are they going to
Magically-
like dance or just sing, or what are they going to do?
Both.
They're going to sing and dance. And how old are these kids?
Can't
5
think of a
to
better
8 years
person.
old.
Oh,
Our
that is
5
going to
to
be
8-year-olds.
adorable.
Adorable.
Every princess, come on out.
That's
Every
going to be
prince, come on out.
adorable. You know what you're going to be doing? I mean, do you have all your curriculum in place?
I'm still, I want to
still
see
working
it.
on it?
Still working on it. Still thinking it
That's
through.
going to be popular. How many people will you take? In the class?
700.
700 people. Oh my goodness! All right, so we got that. We got that with Kevin, and we intermediate, and we have little kids.
Little kids,
on
and that's
stage.
more of a theater-based workshop. There is some music involved, but it's mostly basic stagecraft skills.
And how old do you have to be to
And
be in that?
5 to 7.
5 to 7. And the reason we're talking about this now is that you really should be signing up now, because by
Right.
the time we get to April or May,
Some of these will be full.
they're full already.
Right.
I mean, and
We keep our groups small because
Yeah,
we
we
want the
try.
kids to have
we
a
try.
lot of one-on-one
And we've been doing
attention.
this for how long now? How many years has it been going on?
Kate's a person to ask.
11 or 12?
Well, you were in the. What year were you in the first one? Year 2000 or no? 2002.
2001 or 2.
2001 or 2.
You
and
were
then
in it?
she was in my acting workshop.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about kids on stage or?
No, the first workshop you were in ever.
Oh, yeah, it was probably about 2000.
Yeah, and that was a daytime thing. You and Christina Wright, I think, were
Yeah,
in that.
yeah.
And you were both like 11 or 12 years
Yeah.
old at the time.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're
I
so
tell
young.
you, I know. And your mom actually started Kids on Stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in 2000 and
Before 2000.
Two.
No, earlier than that.
earlier than that. Hi, it's a blur. It's a blur. So many years. So, do you have a number? You're gonna do a number from Annie Get You Gone?
Yes, we're going to do one of the ballads.
One of the
so,
ballads.
Paul will be.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in a moment.
Don't ask me just how it happened. I wish I knew. I can't believe that it's happened, but still it's true. I got lost in his arms and I had to stay. It was dark in his arms and I lost my way. From the dark came a voice.
That was fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. You really sound great. So good. Joanne, you sound so good on the piano, too. Just fabulous. So, Joanne, just tell us, so before you came here and started doing all this music since 1991, what were you doing before?
Well, Paul and I moved up to this area in 1990. We were living down in Brooklyn, but we moved to this area, and prior to meeting Andy, we were working at the Woodstock Youth Theater and also the New York Conservatory for the Arts out in West Hurley.
Uh-huh.
And that was basically it, piano teaching, performing. So we figured out the other day that we've done about 144 shows.
Wow.
Musicals.
That's a lot.
I guess about 67 of which have been here.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
That's great.
Or maybe, I don't know, I think.
That's a lot.
We're so lucky to have you.
Absolutely.
Really well.
Absolutely. And where were you trained? Where did you go to school?
We went to school down in the city. I went to the Brooklyn Conservatory of Music, and Paul and I met at the Brooklyn College Conservatory of Music.
Uh-huh.
And we actually disliked each other
Of
until
course.
graduation day.
So how long did you know each other that you disliked each other?
Well, I don't know, maybe 2 years.
You didn't like each other for 2
We
years?
were hanging around in separate crowds. He was in with the theater crowd, and I was in with the kind of artsy, snooty, classical music crowd. So I sort of frowned down upon his ilk, so to speak. But then we liked each other on graduation day, and from then on, the rest is history.
And then his ilk is now your ilk.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
What can I say?
And you went to school where? Here in the area? Red Hook? Did you go to Red Hook?
Rhinebeck.
Rhinebeck. Went to Rhinebeck High School. Yeah. And studied theater where?
I studied theater at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York, long enough to realize that I didn't like it very much. And
You didn't like the academy or you didn't like theater?
I didn't want to make acting my career. But
Why?
then
You're so good at it.
Just not my personality.
Well, what is it? What kind of personality do you have to have?
You have to like the
You have to be tough and mean. and-
Exactly. Yes.
Really? Well, there's no.
But,
Kevin is
but-
not tough or mean. I mean, he can be tough, but he's not mean.
He's both.
He's both. Who is? I am. Yeah, I'm tough and mean. And but now you're a big scene painter.
Yeah. Oh, well, I love theater, and that hasn't gone away.
And
so-
where did you study scene painting?
Well, I've studied with Richard Krause, who is a local Broadway scenic artist and has done a lot of shows here, and at Scenic Art Studios in Cornwall.
And you actually in your bio for something, I don't know where I read it, you've painted for some of those shows that Richard has in New York right now, right?
Not with him, but I've done a couple Broadway shows.
Which ones? Tell us.
Let's see, Scandalous, which is
Yes.
a new musical, Annie, the revival of Annie, and Golden Boy, which is in Lincoln Center.
Fabulous. So you got like a real career in the theater.
Yeah,
Not
it's
like the
getting
rest
there.
of us who are here at the Center for Performing Arts in Rhinebeck. So let's go back
Pretend
to
theater.
pretend theater. Let's go back to this
Tuppence.
summer camp thing. So we're going to start with Stage Combat
Right.
in July. Then we have Shakespeare, which is the same time as
Same
Stage
time.
Combat. Then we have Magic of Disney, which is
Twice,
coming.
he's
Twice.
doing
He's going to
two
do two of
sessions.
those.
1 July and 1
And that's
August.
for ages 5 to 8.
Right.
Then we have Kids on Stage, 2 of those.
Right.
One with Diana, Little Mermaid, is
Right.
that hers? And then Lisa's is which one?
Wizard of Oz in August.
My goodness, so there's 2 of those. Then there's Little Kids on Stage. And how
Correct.
many weeks of those are we doing?
2 weeks of those.
2 weeks of Little
In
Kids.
July.
And that's age 5 through 7.
Right.
And that's where we left off before
That's
I so
where we
rudely
left off.
interrupted you before. And then we have what?
Back to the schedule.
Back to the schedule.
That's why they call me the paper work
I
lady,
know,
because
that's
I
where you
have
get-
an
you
organized
get-
system.
But I have no paper in front of me at all. except
Then we go into Tech Camp, which is a free program for high school students and adults. And what we do, they meet in the afternoons and they learn all about rigging, lighting, sound, all those important elements of theater. And then there is no tuition, but they do have to commit to a practicum of working on a show. And that makes it a lot of fun for them because they get a lot of hands-on experience after their classes finish. And many of those students from last summer, we did it the first time as a free program last summer, and a lot of those young people have stayed with us
Right.
working on shows. And it's just worked out great.
So again, this is no tuition.
No tuition
And
for
it's
that
1 week long.
July 15th through 19th,
Okay.
2 to 5 p.m.
Right, and they
Because
learn.
we know that anyone in high school doesn't do anything before noon. So in order to make it super convenient, 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock,
All right, and
everybody's
then,
awake.
and then what else is coming up after that?
And then we have two more new brand new programs.
Right.
Auditioning for theater
Uh-huh.
to help middle school and high school students prepare, and even adults if they wanted to,
Yeah, high school.
prepare for a real life theater audition. And then we will have another new program taught by Shannon Fitzsimons, who's been here working
Right.
with me for over 10 years.
Right.
She's doing a brand new program, Voice for Theater, with just focuses on using your voice as an instrument.
So this is not a singing class? Or is it?
It is in some respects.
In some
It's
respects.
how to fine tune your voice for musical theater.
Okay,
Then we go into our Kids on Stage Intermediate program, and that's for kids 7 to 10.
okay.
And they will be doing a production of Alice in Wonderland.
Are you directing that?
I don't know.
You
That's
don't
a
know.
TBA.
To be announced.
We try to give our, we have a lot of college students who have been teaching with me for 10 years, and I try to give them the opportunity to have some income when they're home for their college break.
Ah, and
So-
they all need that income.
They do.
So this starts, so the whole camp starts somewhere around July 1, right?
July 1 to August 30th.
And there's like at least 12 sessions in here, right?
Oh, more than that.
More than that. So we're gonna be jam-packed, and you gotta sign up now, because these go really quickly. If you wait until June and say, gee, I wanna have my kid doing something this
Don't
summer,
do that.
you won't get in.
And they
So,
always have such a good time. Everybody has a good
Everybody
time.
has a great time, and the really nice thing is, even though we had that unfortunate experience with the hurricane, we have brand new classrooms downstairs, and we have more space than we did before.
We have 2 rooms downstairs, we have this stage, and we're in operation from about 9 in the morning until
Till
5 in the
with
afternoon.
classes.
And it's just nonstop. There can be at least 4 classes in a
Some-
day.
Sometimes.
You know, yeah, it's pretty
So,
intense.
if people go to our website, they can download a registration form, so go to
www.centerforperformingarts.org to sign up for any
Go to the
workshop.
education link.
Right? Or you can also order tickets online at www.centerforperformingarts.org. You can also call 876-3080 Tuesday through Saturday between the hours of 1 and 5 to order tickets. Or you can call and ask for Babette, and she'll give you some more information about all the workshops, the ones that are coming up right now in this spring as we speak, and the ones that are coming up in the summer. So Annie Get Your Gun is playing in February, and on February 22nd, which is a Friday,
Oh, right.
we have our good friends Johnny Dell and Ernie Bruno and some other people whom I do not know. They have a new group now called the Fat Pack, which is a takeoff on Sinatra and Dean Martin and all those guys, the Rat Pack of the 60s. This is the Fat Pack. And they're going to do an evening of lounge and ballad and some jokes and some fooling around. And these guys are great. I mean, anytime you go to see Johnny or Ernie, you can't get in. And then on the 23rd and the 24th, we're doing a jazz weekend. And you know more about that. Which is Saturday the 23rd is whom?
It's actually it's a gentleman named T.K. Blue is the composer, and he's doing a 7-suite ensemble that he composed. And both nights, Saturday and Sunday, are a fundraiser for the Burger House in Kingston.
That's Saturday and Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And Friday, with the Fat Pack, we're doing a fundraiser for the Rhinebeck Village Police Department. And 1/3 of all the money that we generate through ticket sales will be donated to the Rhinebeck Village Police Department. And that's a good thing. So come and see the Fat Pack, and you know you're helping the center, but you're also helping our officers here in the village. Annie, get your gun, and after that, what? Anything else for you, or are you taking time off?
Not immediately, anyway.
Not immediately. But you work with the Mohonk Mountain House frequently.
yes,
You do
it'll
staged
be-
readings.
It'll be over, but I'm in production tonight and
Tonight,
Tonight.
meaning January the 18th. but
Because
you-
we're not
you-
live.
Because, well, we are live, but we're pretending that we're live. So you work with them quite a bit.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Well, I'm actually painting some sets for County Players now. Born Yesterday opens in a couple weeks.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Joanne, after you do this, you're doing Pajama Game, and we got you on board for South Pacific. I talked to Paul about that. And you're doing Spring Awakening, which is in March, and then you're doing Jekyll and Hyde, which is in July. July, and then you're doing Spamalot, which is in October.
Yeah.
And you're doing all the education programs.
Field trips.
Field trips. Oh, tell us about field trips. Anything that they can see in February?
They can. If they come February 6th or 13th, they can see Annie Get Your Gun.
See Kate and here Joanne.
And
And you really
February,
should.
you really should.
Yeah, you really
February
should.
6th is filling up, so if you're a student or you're a member of a local senior center, we'd love to have you. Those shows are February 6th, 13th at 10 a.m. Tickets are only $10, so it's
Yeah.
a really great opportunity to see a wonderful production during the daytime.
And the cast comes out and does a Q&A afterwards.
Cast
You can
comes
ask them
out,
all
is
sorts of questions.
really, that's one of the nice things about our
Right.
field trips, is that after the show's over, the cast comes and crew come back out on stage, and all of our audience members can ask all kinds of questions about our interpretation of the show, history behind the production, that sort of thing. It's really a great opportunity.
Anything else in February?
Then
Field trip-wise?
in April 10th, we have Caesar and Cleopatra
As a
as
field
part
trip.
of our Shakespeare Festival.
Right.
And then your mob version of Julius Caesar.
Right?
And then we also have 2 touring programs where we take our productions on the road, and that is Rip Van Winkle for our younger audiences, and Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Heart and Other Stories for middle and high school students. It's really creepy and so much fun.
And it sounds like we're doing a lot.
We're doing a lot.
It sounds like there's a lot going on here.
Fairly exhausting.
Yes,
All
and
done by 9 people.
yes, as I've said in shows past, there are only 9 of us. Here are 5 of the 9. Paul Schubert is the 6th of the 9. Andy is 7. Emily, who was here the last time, she's 8. And Lisa Lenz, who was here the last time, that's 9. That's it. There's nobody else. So, again, tickets, 876-3080, Tuesday through Saturday, between the hours of 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. Or go to our website, www.centerforperformingarts.org, to order tickets or to download an application for any of our workshops, get general information. Also, if you call the number 876-3080, you can talk to Babette, and she'll tell you all about education programs. You can talk to Kevin, and Kevin also does astrology. So if you need to, know,
Yes.
yeah, he does every day. He does a horoscope. He does a personalized horoscope. You can call.
Palm
He
readings,
does everything
come on
between
in.
the hours of 1 and 5. Kate Olson is not at that number, unfortunately. She's not here during the day. Well, she is many
She is during the
mornings
day,
here painting
painting.
sets, but we don't put her on the telephone. And Joanne is at home homeschooling her lovely daughters, Maya and Angelica. And Angelica is doing college courses now. And she's only, what, 16?
She's 16.
She just turned 16. And what courses is she taking? She
She's
just started.
currently taking English 2 and also a library literacy course.
And Maya is.
Maya is at home homeschooling and online.
Who's homeschooling her now since you're here?
It's amazing.
Oh, you're trusting that she's doing it.
She is.
Nah, she's eating cookies and drinking chocolate milk and
No
watching
way.
cartoons.
Because
That's
I
what
will
I'd be
find
doing
out.
if I was nobody were checking up on me. Anything you want to say?
I love this place. Come visit.
Come visit. Joanne, any parting remarks?
The music is beautiful. To Annie Get Your Gun,
Yeah.
you must come. You'll leave singing.
Yep,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Kevin?
Well, we should talk about the Saturday morning.
Oh,
Wait,
Saturday morning.
Thank you. My next page.
Oh,
Did,
but
did I ignore something? Oh, sorry.
What else
I
is
was going to
new?
wrap this show up, but I guess I'm not. So we also do something else, as if we don't do enough. What is that?
We have every Saturday morning, 11 o'clock, we have shows specifically for our younger audiences and their parents and grandma and grandpa. And we take off January because we don't compete with snow. And we resume in February, which still sometimes competes with snow. But we start off with Margaret Steele, a really amazing magician who's been performing with us for several years. And then we jump into a couple amazing puppet shows. February 9th, we have Three Wishes and Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. And that's with Spring Valley Puppet Company out of Connecticut. And then our friends from Tanglewood Marionettes come, I know No, with Hansel and Gretel, which is an unbelievable,
Scary show.
scary. Well,
I mean, it's
it
kid
has-
friendly.
It's kid friendly.
Kid friendly.
Totally
It's kid
kid
scary.
friendly.
Kid scary. You know the way kids like to be scared.
There is a witch.
Yeah, there's a witch.
And then another puppet show from Dr. Marmalade. She's a touring puppeteer from Massachusetts.
And
then
those are all 10 a.m., right?
10 a.m.
10
Saturday
No,
morning.
11 o'clock.
Oh, 11 o'clock.
Doors
Saturday
open
morning.
at
Oh,
10.
doors open at 10.
And these
11,
are
sorry.
really,
Almost
really inexpensive. How much is it for a kid's ticket?
$7 for kids and $9
$9
for
for
adults.
adults. It's like a
And that's
movie.
thanks to the courtesy of IBM.
IBM is bailing us out this year. Well, not entirely, but to a great extent.
Making some of these higher end shows,
Yeah,
Possible.
yeah, possible, which we really appreciate.
That's great. And then we do 30 Saturdays in a year, right? I think that's our
I
schedule.
think that's, yeah.
30 Saturdays.
This
So
year more though, but yeah,
we're doing more this year?
34. I think, this
34.
year.
Oh, wow.
This count.
Okay, so that's it. The Center for Performing Arts, where something is always going on between the hours of 9 a.m. and midnight, Monday through Sunday. There's either a show, or there's a rehearsal, or Kate's on stage painting, or Joanne is rehearsing, or Kevin is teaching, or Babette is signing people up, and I'm
What
out
do you
on
do?
I'm out on the front deck. I'm out at the front deck, and I'm just kind of pacing around, you know, looking at the trees.
Paying the bills.
I'm paying the bills. That's what I do. I pay the bills. All right, so thank you. Live at the Center, which is faux live, but we'll see you next month. Thank you.